Good morning. It's your lucky day. We're doing a bonus episode this week. My name is Eric Heater, the host of the Heater Dynasty podcast, your one-stop shop for all your fantasy football needs. And since we've got another international showdown slate, I knew I got to throw together an extra episode. I've been really enjoying these season. And this NFL Week 10 matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Atlanta Falcons is shaping up to probably be one of the best ones so far. It's taking place in Berlin, Germany. It's an over-under of 48.5 points, a minus 6.5 spread in favor of the Colts. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. But before we get too far into the weeds with this, I want to talk about some things that I have available for you. If you are a hand builder like me and want access to this tool, it's available for purchase on my Patreon. It's $15 for the whole season access pass. You'll get the whole slate, the whole gamut of slates for the rest of the season. Or if you don't want to make that big of a commitment, you can just get a weekly access pass. They're $5. For this week, you're going to get this international slate. You'll get the main slate, Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. And then if you like it, there's a promo code in there for $5 off the season access pass, meaning you just got to pay the extra $10 if you want the whole thing. This is also available for purchase on my Etsy. So just another option there. The other thing I wanted to talk about is I have a website, heaterdynasty.com. I'd love for you to go check it out. It's got my projections, my rankings, and all my articles up there. I'm going to be adding some extra data in there soon for in-season data of top wide receivers and all that good stuff. So all the different algorithms and things that I'm interested in will be available up there very shortly. Go check it out. Otherwise, I'd love for you to like, subscribe, follow YouTube, Spotify, wherever you want to see me. Much appreciated. But the infomercial is over. We're going to jump back into this slate. I think it's going to be a good one. I'm looking at this. There are a ton of high quality plays on this slate. It's going to be more a choice of how do you fit them in and who do you exclude this week. So if we're looking at top captain options, I think you've got a solid 5 or 6 people that you could be putting up there, which is good. It just means that it's going to be a little bit less of a condensed target share. So I'm looking at the roster percentage here. I might be wrong on this. It looks like everybody is going to go with either Jonathan Taylor or Bijan Robinson. So maybe there's some good leverage here if we wanted to go with some other options, because I kind of see 5 or 6 people that I'd be interested in. So obviously Jonathan Taylor, he is having an MVP caliber season. If that award went to a non-quarterback, he would definitely be in the running. However, he's probably going to get the Offensive Player of the Year because that's just the way the NFL works. But anyway, he's having a huge season. And then Bijan's not too shabby this year either. I know he's had a couple games where he's stumbled recently, but should be a solid matchup here. So if I'm breaking this down, the top captain options in my mind, Jonathan Taylor would be my first choice. Honestly, Daniel Jones would be my second. I definitely think I want to lean more Colts heavy this week. And then Tyler Warren would be another possible captain option. He's the rookie sensation tight end who is just really broken out and has great connection with Daniel Jones. I think he'd be a solid option. Or if you really wanted to, you could go Michael Pittman as well. So those would be the 4 on the Colts side. On the Falcons side, I think Bijan or Drake London are really your option. So I guess that's the 6. When I'm looking at the rest of the slate, pieces that I'm interested in, Michael Penix, I'm not interested in him at captain, but I would be interested in him at the flex position. And then Alec Pierce, 6,800. He's been having an incredible season. I think he is more interesting to me than Josh Downs. He has really been breaking out as a deep threat, deep target threat for Daniel Jones. He's found the end zone the last couple of weeks. He's been really good. So I guess he could be a contrarian captain play as well if you need some savings. But if we're looking at the rest of the slate, Kyle Pitts, he's priced about the same as the kickers. I believe the Falcons are going with Zane Gonzalez as their kicker this week, and then Michael Badgley for the Colts. So I know there's like 18 kickers listed here. There's been a lot of kicker injuries. So I know Spencer Strader was starting out season. He's out. And then the Falcons are just collecting them because ever since they got rid of Younghoe Koo. But yeah, these are the two you're looking at. Zane Gonzalez, Michael Badgley. All that to say, Kyle Pitts is listed at the same price point as them. So his roster percentage might be a little bit lower, but he's a potential option. Definitely okay with the Colts defense. Definitely okay with the Falcons defense. So I think this is one of those slates where you could see a lot of different builds, maybe less dupes than we've seen in the past. So that's cool. Let's see. What else do we want to really break down here? Let's go down to the bottom and see if there's anybody that sticks out as people that we would want for salary savings. And what is the lowest price that we are comfortable with? Tyler Algier, definitely someone that I'm interested in. At 3,000, he's a good pivot off of Bijan Robinson. He's been getting more involved. Obviously, Bijan gets the brunt of the carries, but Algier seems to be getting some looks around the red zone, so that's interesting. Other than that, I think it's going to be a hard slate because I do think it's a pretty condensed salary options, and I don't think there's a lot of options at the bottom that we're interested in. So let's just try to build some together and see what happens here. Well, before we jump into that, let's think through the narrative that we want to play with this week. I do feel like with these showdown slates, yes, we can look at the data. Yes, we can let that help us drive our decisions. But more often than not, a narrative-based approach is the way to do the showdown slates. So we need to think, what game script are we going with? So we're in Berlin. It's an international matchup. Anything can happen. Which team is going to show up ready to go is kind of what we've seen in these different slates. That really determines the outcome. So we've had some matchups where one team is favored over the other, but they just didn't show up to play. And it's a neutral game environment. It's a different place, the different time zone. So all that to say, if we're looking at coaching, both of these teams, I think if I was going to give coaching a lean one way or the other, I think the Colts are better equipped with their coaching staff and might come in more prepared. They're also the favored team today, but I do think that's the team that I want to build with. So I'm definitely thinking I want to build more 4-2 Colts builds just because they've been much more consistent. Yes, they faltered last week, but I think they're going to want to build off of that too. And they are going to want to show that they are a contender in this league and that everything at the beginning of the season isn't fake, that they are a solid team that needs to be thought of for the playoff picture. Maybe that's just my heart because I love seeing Daniel Jones do well. I'm loving this year seeing Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, both doing really well after being tossed on the garbage heap and assumed for dead. Seeing them be able to resurrect their careers, I love that. So yeah, maybe that's influencing my decision making, but isn't that what this is? This is a game. We go with our gut. So let's try it. So the first one I want to build would be Jonathan Taylor as a captain. I do think all things run through him. For the Colts, we would throw in the Colts defense for that. I'd throw in Daniel Jones. And then maybe we pick one of the receivers. So I'm going to go Tyler Warren just to start building. That leaves us with a little over 1,100, so 11,200 to build with. So basically we're going to be able to get one stud. Actually, no. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is tight. So that eliminates Bijan Robinson. That eliminates Drake London. So we might have to reconsider this. Let's take off Tyler Warren for the moment. I don't think we can put that much up there. So let's, in this build, let's go Drake London. This is assuming that the Colts are kind of taking care of business, controlling the clock. So we're going to assume that they have to pass the ball a little bit more. Who else do we want to throw in? So let's throw in Tyler Algier. And then let's throw in We got 4,800 left. What does that leave us? It leaves just enough. You could throw in Zane Gonzalez. So that's an interesting option. That is a 3-3. I'm not sure that I like that. So who could we get off of here? We could get off of Tyler Algier. And that leaves us at 3K. Is there any Indianapolis Colts players down there that we are interested in? I know when we were looking before, nothing stuck out to me. But maybe with a second look, the answer is still no. All right. Yeah. So in that case, we build a little differently. It's going to be hard with Jonathan Taylor at the top. So let's throw in Tyler Algier. We'll go cheap options for Falcons. And then that leaves us with just 9,800. And we could throw in one of these other receivers. This would be more of you're just assuming that they are... oh, wait, maybe we can. Then we throw back in Tyler Warren. Is that what we're thinking? Oh, yeah. Save some salary there. I actually like that way better. Leave some salary on the table. You've got your main receiving option for Daniel Jones. The receiving works there. The running works there. The defense. And then we're just assuming the Falcons just can't get much going. And then Algier comes in the game to finish out the game. Third down running back. They don't want to injure Bijan Robinson. I don't know, something like that. And they aren't able to score in the end zone, so Zane Gonzalez gets most of their points. That's one build. Maybe we do more of a receiving threat. So maybe we have some savings by putting Michael Pittman up there. In this case, we'd throw in Daniel Jones for sure. I still think you want Jonathan Taylor in there. I don't see how you get off of him this week unless you think he gets injured, and I just don't like to play that way. This one we'll definitely throw in Drake London. I want it to be more of a back and forth affair in this scenario. Maybe Zane Gonzalez. And then what does that leave us left with? Absolutely nothing. Is there any cheapos that we're even remotely interested in here? Maybe Amir Abdullah. He's been getting a little bit of work. I'm going to have to look at that. See what his snap share is. So, but, okay. So we got to get off of that. Like I said, it's tough. You're not going to be able to get all these names in there. So maybe we get off of Pittman. Maybe we throw in Alec Pierce. Maybe this is a different build we think of. And then you could get Tyler Algier again. Get off of Zane Gonzalez and flip it. Do Michael Badgley. This is going to be right at the salary here. So I don't know that I like this because I definitely think this lineup would be duped. Since you're not saving, if I could spell Badgley. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely going to be duped because you're using all the salary. People are going to do the same thing. Slide in exactly what you're looking at there. So the only other thing you could do in a situation like this, get off Drake London. Slide in someone like, oh, okay, so let's go Michael Penix. That saves some salary, and then you could get off of him. You could get, maybe we go back to Zane Gonzalez, and then get a cheaper Colts option, 4,200. What do we got? Oh, okay, throw in Darnell Mooney. And then go back to Michael Badgley. There's another alternative, but once again, that puts us right back. This is well priced. This is well priced. This is tricky because I don't ever like to spend the full amount on a showdown slate. I just think it creates too many dupe lineups that way. It's one way you can get different is just to leave salary on the table. So that's interesting, and it really I don't like that lineup at all because you're seeing the projection's not even that good. We're not saving really much by putting it up top there. We're just able to throw in Michael Penix, I guess. So I'm just going to scratch that altogether. Let's try a Daniel Jones. Jonathan Taylor. Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren. We're going to do an onslaught build this time. Leave just one person on the table. Let's do Colts defense and Tyler Algier. I don't mind that. That's interesting. But let's flip it. Let's flip the script. Let's say you wanted to go with the Falcons, because it does seem like that's where some leverage opportunities would be. So Bijan Robinson, who we haven't even put in yet. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a tough slate. Bijan Robinson. We'll throw in Jonathan Taylor. What if we just do Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman? What if we leave off Daniel Jones? We throw in Drake London. So this is a weird one. No quarterbacks at all. Throw in Tyler Algier. This isn't going to fit. It's not. Okay, so get off of Drake London. We'll do Falcons defense. What if we did one of these? Falcons defense and we did Colts defense. I don't mind this. I really don't. So basically you're saying it's more of a ground and pound kind of game. It's a low scoring game. Both defenses get some turnovers, create some havoc for the quarterbacks. Maybe some interceptions are thrown, so you don't really need either quarterback, but your playmakers still get it done. So that's a potential. This is a 3-3 though, so maybe I would switch this for Drake London, make it a 4-2. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's interesting. If we were to do the same concept but flipped, because I definitely think we've seen a lot of that, a lot of volatility in these showdown slates. I think you could do Jonathan Taylor, Colts, Falcons, Michael Pittman, and then maybe just Bijan. You say Bijan's the only piece you need. And then at 4,800, who can we throw in there for the Colts? Okay, what if we went off Bijan here? What if we save a little bit more? We go Drake London. And then we can throw in Alec Pierce. No, that's too much. Okay, so maybe Kyle Pitts. I don't know. Oh, what? I'm an idiot. I want the Colts. Who we got? Josh Downs. We got enough for that? Nope. Okay, so get off the Falcons defense. We'll do Zane Gonzalez. Or is that more expensive? Yeah, that's more expensive. We're going the wrong directions, dummy. Okay, so maybe we just throw in one of the kickers then. Michael Badgley. I want to spell badge. Not. There we go. All right. Oh, yeah, that's not bad. And with that amount, you could go back up to Bijan. Nope, I lied. So you'd have to get off of that. Maybe go Tyler Warren. Okay. So, as you can see, there's options. You're going to have to call your shot which players you think perform this week. I wouldn't worry too much about projections. As you can see, they all kind of play the same way. I'd worry more about what do you think the game strip's going to be, what players are going to perform best, and build from there. But yeah, good luck. Make sure you go ahead and check out my main slate video as well. I just posted that earlier today. It covers the cash lineups, best plays, as well as some tournament builds and some GPP stacking opportunities. So check that out. Like I said, like, follow, subscribe. I'd appreciate any feedback you got. And I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. But good luck this week, and we'll see you soon.